This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
A clear, sunny, but very chilly morning out here on Tswalu Game Reserve this morning. We have lots of plans. We're going to go out to the west, see what we can find on that side. We've got Andrew out in Tswalu as well as Mike in Pridelands. So it promises to be an exciting one, everyone. We're looking at this gorgeous view. The sun is going to pop up in a bit. So I hope you're ready to jump on board for your live safari through the African bush. Good morning everyone, and welcome aboard onto my game drive vehicle. It's wonderful to have you here. We are, like I said, on Tswalu Game Reserve. We're in the western portions of quarantine at the moment, and we're going to keep on moving west, at least for now. It's me, Trishala. I have Morgan on camera with me, and like I said, we're in the Sabi Sands here on Tswalu Game Reserve. A little chilly. It's about 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But that is good. It means that we at least can wait till the sun pops up and we'll get nice and warm. It's one of the things we look forward to in the morning when it's cold, to get nice and warm when that sun comes off and that comes up, and that's why it's nice that it's actually not very cloudy as it has been the last few days. Well, it is your live safari, everyone, so use that hashtag WildEarth. You can also use @FC on the YouTube chat stream. You can hop over to our website and you can register to use our questions and comments box. We'd love to hear all your questions, all your comments, and all your feelings as to how you're enjoying the safari. If you're under 18, please use kidsquestions@wildearth.tv. Always my favorite questions, the ones from the kiddies. Now it's still quite quiet. I was hoping that we'd be able to hear some alarm calls and things like that with this cold air where sound would travel quite well. But so far I just hear some birds. I can hear francolins, I can hear bearded woodpecker, I can hear cisticulars. But mostly quiet. Morning sounds as the bush awakens. Actually, it probably woke up about an hour and a half ago. But we still have these wonderful sounds, and we have a wonderful light. So we're going to get going on Vuyatela Access and make our way to the west. Vuyatela Access has been a road that many of our leopards have been using, from Tavangumi, now Tortoispan. Male has been using that road. We know that Lalamba has been using that road. Shidulu, she's coming in, she often uses that road. Kara uses that road. So it's a good place to look for tracks. Give us a bit of a starting point. Give us a good wipe there. Wonderful. I'm also looking out for some elephants today. So we're going to use Vuyatela Access and then Impala Road Sandy Patch to the south. And stop off at one of the dams and see if we get lucky with some elephants. We had a really wonderful elephant sighting yesterday at Chitwa. But I'm not going to head over to Chitwa today. I'm going to be spending most of the time here in Djuma. Anyway, let me send you over to have a look at the weather in our various locations, and I'm going to get a move on to the west.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve this morning. It's quite actually chill slightly, but I think everything will be just fine. This is how we're going to be opening our drive, looking at the Kalahari Dam quickly. So my name's Andrew and I have Theo on camera. So I'll be checking the dam here. It's been very interesting sound with the lines that were roaring. But we're going to go to the dam just to begin listening whether they're going to call again, so we can able to tell which direction they are. Oh, I got a female. I got a lioness, everyone. That we didn't actually have to track it harder for them. There she is. Not quite sure if this is the one of the lionesses amongst the two we saw or yesterday. I didn't actually take a look at their neck. I know there was some of them, they had a ticks, but I didn't see any of these missing of a hairy on the neck there. And then it looks like it's just the only one. And then she's been heard calling around here. That is a sign that she lost the other members. So Michael, you commenting saying that, what a brilliant to start the day with a lioness. Indeed it is. A lot of time you have to track it hard, and we just come down to the dam here, and we just find one. So it's such a great starter then. You're very right. So that was a way of communication. Wait for any response, but seems to be nothing. So I'm gonna reposition here, maybe get slightly closer, and I'm gonna be sending you across to Brightland with Mike to say hello to everybody.
Well, good morning to all of you. Good afternoon for some of you who might be watching from different places all over the world. It's very cold this morning. Very, very cold. And we're here at Leopard Dam. Hi, everyone. My name's Mike Anderson. Behind the camera is Craig. And this is Eco Training's Pridelands Conservancy, where we've come here this morning because yesterday, game viewers in this area found Pixie Pan female, that female leopard, and one of her sub-adult youngsters here at this very waterhole, aptly named Leopard Dam. So we've come in this area to see if we can find her tracks and signs and see if we can find her. So far it's very quiet. We haven't heard much. No alarm calls or anything else. We're just waiting for the sun to move over the treetops and start shining on some of these open areas where this leopard might go and sit to warm up in the morning. And if we're very lucky, they haven't moved very far, and we might well find some of their tracks and signs, and then maybe track them and try and see if we can just get a glimpse of them this morning. Has been a while since I last saw her, so it'd be fantastic to catch up with them again. And of course anything else that might... Oh, here's an alarm call over to our left. That might have just been some crested francolins having a little fight early in the morning, a little dispute. Well, anyway, we'll keep you updated.
Use tracks because I won't have signal in that area, but you're welcome to. Just calling in some tracks. Tracks of lions, pride. So even if we don't, if the tracks are leading us into an area that we can't go into, obviously we still call tracks in, so that other people can also have a nice sighting. Now I have tracks of one female lioness heading straight up the road, and the rest of the tracks turned in here. But they might have come out there at Sandy Patch, so I just stopped at Aubrey's because I saw one track turning in, and then I saw the rest of the... But we'll continue with our normal plan till I access and see if we get lucky there. We might even get lucky at the top of this road, considering there's at least one lioness that's was still walking in this direction. Looks like she's popped off. Oh, no, it's still going. Walking in a pride, which is normally good also for tracking, because if cars are over a certain portion of the track, you still get to see the others. But in this case, we just have the one lioness that we're following. But seems like she's also moved off the road now, so I think we'll turn around and use rear tiller access.
So our lioness is still communicating. I just got an update. Sound like the other parties had returned from Manuleti, so that hasn't been found. The guys is probably still trekking down there. And I'm gonna move the two vehicles, yeah? We're just gonna wipe the lens every now and then with the old misty. Lions has a good sense of smell, as we just also heard a communication sound that she just did. It's a way of finding out whether the other member around want to respond to her calls. They'll probably do when they hear it. And then now she's just approaching the quarantine, so she's moving west a little bit. Just going behind the bush and also move. What a beautiful, Brandy, you're saying it's so nice that we still had a visual of a lioness. You're very right, Brandy. We still have a very good luck. I know they separate again, there's only one, but then still the best. She's moving faster now. And it's still brilliant morning where the sound still travels further. When they call, sound still travel way distances. But she may not maybe get a response soon, or then she'll carry on going while she's calling. Let's get closer to her. Now she's right at the top of quarantine. Stop right here. So Anya here saying that hopefully she got a luck finding their bride. I also hope the same, that it would be great to rejoin their bride again. Busy checking around here. I don't know if one of them been in this area, so she's sniffing on the ground. Just looks like she's got a thorn. Plug it off. So I'm gonna stick with that, see how far she goes.
This is Jake Whitener, all the way from the US, and he is a holder of the Ticket to Dream.
I decided to support and buy the Ticket to Dream to help Wild Earth in its mission of conservancy towards animals and the environment.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
And I would highly recommend that people would be involved in that program.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
Ever since I was able to get the Ticket to Dream, I've been looking forward to coming on this drive. It is an absolutely fabulous experience, and it's great.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana, I'm from Johannesburg, and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years, DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at and beyond Pinder Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on Wild Earth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
Again, it's further towards the south of the road. But yeah, I think it was just 3 lionesses or so. Again, sorry, caught me on the Game Drive radio trying to figure out what's going on. I'm seeing lots of tracks, lion tracks all over the place. I'm just busy calling them in. They lead to an area that we have pretty bad signal in, so I'm just letting everyone know where the tracks are. So now we have continued with our original plan, which was Viatella Access and then Sandy Patch, Impala Road. There's a... It's always strange when you see one very, very nice looking track. I'm not sure if we're able to see it. So a female leopard just down there. But I just see one, or one set. So it must just be very well placed. Some hyena next to it. But that's about it. Well, hopefully this means we're in a good area. We're going to keep on moving to the south on this road. Looks like they she might have turned in here. Hi, Jackie. If you'd like to know if hyenas only follow, also follow lions or only leopard, they certainly do follow lions too. They're just a little bit more cautious when it comes to lions, or they won't get to 1 meter off the lion and act like, I'm just doing my thing. I didn't know you were here, leopard, as they do with leopards. They're a little bit more cautious, but they certainly will follow lions too. I think that was just one very good looking track, because now I've still got the tracks. I'm gonna follow them and see what turns up, and for now I'll send you over to Pridelands with Mike on Bushwalk.
It's not very clear to see, but we think we might have found tracks of these leopards from yesterday evening. So just over here you can see a bit of a pad, 3 lobes, and the toes, 1, 2, 3, 4 toes. There's another track just here, which is slightly obscured. I think this was the front foot, the back foot, and it just pushed a little bit of sand onto this track here. And it's moving in this direction, heading that way. So we know this is quite a common route for Pixie Pan female and her youngsters. They've used this area plenty in the past. I'm just trying to figure out if these are really fresh tracks from yesterday, or whether, because it's been quite still and quite calm, whether these tracks might be a little bit older, but I haven't been able to ascertain it just yet. But the tracks come from that way, which is where they were yesterday afternoon. They were on the eastern side of the dam, and then they would have crossed all the way along here looking for any hunting opportunities. And these kind of open clearings are the perfect places for leopards to hunt. There's lots of thickets and drainage lines on either side, and these open patches here would have been where the impalas, which you can see tracks of impalas all over here. All of this is impala tracks. You would have seen impalas moving here, maybe even during the night, hoping to stay away from danger. And these leopards came through. So we're going to keep moving west along these tracks, just trying to follow them, see where they head, and hopefully we get something like an alarm call or something ahead of us that gives us an indication. We know there's water in there, and we know there's plenty of shelter and eroded patches amongst the tambuti trees, which is exactly where they'd like to go. I mean, if you look down there, you can see those big thickets of green trees. It's exactly where these leopards might like to rest up during the day. So wish us luck. We'll head there and we'll keep you up to date if we come up with anything interesting.
We're still sitting here. We're right on the edge of western side of quarantine. She's looking west. She may go down to this thicket, still head west, I'm sure. Or maybe she'll decide to lie down here. She's still actually extremely calling around, but there is no response from the other bride. So, Gloria, you're commenting that she saw blending with the grass. Yeah, she do. They, compared to the grass with her color, it actually match color. And this is actually how the winter treat us like this always. The grasses, our grasses, will just turned gray, browny, because it's the dry season now. Which means lions, if they would hunt in the tall grasses, it will work better for them, because then will be hardly been spotted by their prey species, except if they could maybe smell them. Just listening now, but you'll probably carry on calling again. LT, you asking, do I know how she's separated from the entire pride? I'm not sure. You see, there were two of them yesterday. The one that looks very much full belly yesterday. And then if she's still one of them, probably separate from her again. So that could happen whether she just nap and while the other will move. But if she's the third one to be missing from the bride, it means maybe the other two, they have hooked up with the bride. Maybe she was lost since then yesterday also, away from the bride. That would cause by maybe same situation with the other two, what happened to them. during the hunting, they're all separated and unable to rejoin at the same time again. Sorry everyone, with this lens, it's highly extremely cold and they're all misty a little bit, so every now and then it will just cover the screen lens. And it seems he hasn't actually found where they've moved in, where Trishal actually trying to look for their tracks. Still quite away from here. But if it happens, she got lucky of finding exactly where they've moved, then she won't call along, or many times she's just going to focus on tracking them. So, Emma, you asking that whether when they're tracking each other, they should track them using or their scent? Yes, they left the scent behind, and then once you picked up that, she will probably be behind them by their trail where they have moved through. So we're gonna stay put, see what she's gonna be doing from here.
So we are down in this little drainage line now, far to the west of Leopard. Well, not that far, maybe 700 or 800 meters at the most. But you can see this is the kind of place where this leopard would walk, because the ground here is very soft. Its soft and padded feet, which are perfectly designed for silent movement, would be perfect on this to move quietly, even more quietly. The high banks would shelter it from being spotted by any of the prey that it's trying to hunt. And should it smell or hear anything, it could easily pop up just with its head, popping up that beautiful camouflaged coat, keeping it hidden, see something, and then use this drainage line to get closer. Now, oftentimes, the wind or the air in the evenings and the mornings will travel up and down these drainage lines because it's the lowest area. And so even when it's down here, its scent won't usually go out. Its scent will usually only travel down the drainage line, which is perfect. So it's really got everything going for it if that leopard would hunt in this area. Now, we had tracks heading all the way up into about this area. Now I can't see the tracks anymore. So we're going to keep moving up this drainage line and hope that we come across the tracks somewhere. But you can really see up ahead those tambuti trees, the thickets. We've seen leopards in this area numerous times, usually lying right on the bank where they can have a good view. And then should they spot us or a prey or another predator, they'll just pop down into the drainage line and disappear. And oftentimes we never see them again after that because it's so easy for them to move silently and quickly. They can run basically at full speed on this sand without making a sound. So it's really the perfect place for this leopard. Now I wonder if Pixie Pan, if she was only spotted with one of her youngsters yesterday in the evening. So I wonder if the young male, because the tracks we've been seeing have been tiny tracks, so I wonder if the young male, her youngster, has maybe started to move off on his own, because they are coming up to nearly 2 years old now, so they should be old enough to leave their mother. Maybe about 1.5 years to 2 years is when they usually leave, so let's cross our fingers and hope that all is well with the family.
2, 1, hold off speaking.
She's still listening, hoping to get a response from the rest of the bride, but she hasn't yet, so she's just gonna carry on communicating, listening all the time while we're around here with her. A child, you're asking, can a lioness live on her own? Or it has to be in a bride? They can live on their own, but it's the only thing that's very difficult for them to hunt and get regularly meal. So when they're in a bride, they cooperate. Hunting and successful quite often happened. But yeah, she can still carrying on with her life alone. lions sometimes also they scavenge, steal from the other cats, steal from hyena. I have seen young male who was separated from the entire pride. And then he was always behind a herd of buffaloes. So we're just gonna wipe the lens again. And all he was hoping was the weakest, the young one that cannot keep up with the herd. Hungry lion would desperately looking behind a herd of buffaloes for many hours, following right in the far end. So I'm still going to stay put here. Going to be sending you across to Trishal, who she's also on the move.
Guys, how amazing is this? We literally got here at the right time. These are all marabou stalks. I can't believe that they're all here. This is amazing. We hardly ever get to see them, and then yesterday we saw so many of them. And now they've all gone flat. I'm just going to move ahead a little bit to give the other vehicles some space to have a look at the marabou stalks too. This is as many marabou stalks as I've ever seen in this area. I've seen maybe one or two before, and actually not in this game reserve, but in this area. So this is awesome. This is just beautiful. I wish I had a monitor and I could see too. Hang on, I'm going to look through my binoculars for a little bit. Oh, wow. They definitely are not the most pretty birds. And Megan, you say, oh my goodness, what an awesome sighting. Absolutely, this is amazing. This is just stunning. Now these are quite large birds. They're about 6 kgs or so. Obviously, they're a type of stork. I love that, like, bulbous little air sac that they have, and their wispy hair on their heads. Remember that they're primarily scavengers, but they will catch other small little prey. In fact, sometimes they'll even take frogs, and they might be looking for some of them in the water. In fact, it's one of them got a frog. You see, it's got, yeah, is it just drinking? I've just got my binos out to have a look. It looks like most of them are just drinking. But like I said, they will take small aquatic animals that they'll find around dams and things like that. But primarily scavengers. And it is usual to see them in a flock. They are gregarious. But like I said, this is as many as I've ever seen. I think it's as many as most people have ever seen in this area, or in Djuma at least. Because remember yesterday when we saw them, when we had Tswalu, the leopard, we saw all of them flying overhead, and they obviously stuck around in this area. And everyone was just going crazy. Like, we've never seen this amount. Oh, there one comes flying in. You hear them as it landed and flapped its wings to come down. Oh, bit of a fight going on there. Oh, those wings are so long. That wingspan's like 2.5 meters or so. Jamie, you'd like to know if there's a name for a collection of marabou storks? I can imagine that there must be quite a few very interesting ones, but I don't know. I don't know them. Well, they usually rest in usual sites and sites that they've used before. So I wonder if there's a spot here on Djuma that they have used previously that they're going back to, because we've seen them for 2 days now. Hi CJ, you'd like to know if a marabou stork has a distinctive call. I've never heard them call. Like I said, this is the second time I've ever seen them, and they're not something that I've seen on the reserve before. So what we'll do, CJ, is when we're away from them, we can pull out the app and have a listen. So there's a one on the right. Then you pull the binos out again. It has something in its beak. Oh, not anymore. Right, let me watch through my binoculars. One of them just picked up like this long, slimy thing that probably thought was something to eat, but it looked like it was just a bit of cyanobacteria. Looks like a lot of them are taking chances. They're grabbing sticks and other little things. This is a really, really, really awesome sighting and something that I really didn't expect to find this morning.
Founded in 1973, the Endangered Wildlife Trust has consistently and effectively worked towards achieving our conservation legacy. Contribute to this legacy by visiting EWT's Get Wild eShop and purchase products with a purpose.
I love being a cam up for Wild Earth. The animals coming right up close to you, especially like lions. Sometimes you get nervous, but you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
Baby pangolin. This is off the charts. This animal is about from your fingertips to your elbow. That's the total length of this animal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is unreal. This is like now my 4th Christmas in a week. We should do this more often.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
Hello everyone, my name is Trishala and I am a naturalist and safari guide here in Djuma Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands in South Africa. I think that the information that we provide and most importantly the questions that you ask give both you and I a really good idea of what's going on. My friend Fernando here, he's a flat-necked chameleon and I love them. They're just these gems that you manage to find in the bush.
Catch up with the guides daily here on Wild Earth.
So we left the lioness. There's a lot of vehicles there going to have a look at that. So I'm sure it will be space soon. Then we're going to go return again to have a look at her. Now we got her impalas, which is they're happily feeding around here. And they probably heard that lions calling earlier, but I'm sure they're going to keep an eye on that. And this is the male that dominate the whole females that we're just looking at right here. Seen him pushing them around quite a lot. It's all about right in season that take place. And this is also a browsing time where that tree looks like it's been break off by an elephant. And then now the bees are feeding on it. So it's a way of life where elephants do a lot, but also to help the other animals. Vicky, you're asking how far the line is from this impala. It's not actually quite far. You could see the quarantine from here. So maybe 800, 900 meters away from the bride. It's just on the other side of quarantine. So we're gonna see if we're going to return to the lioness once there's a space. In the meantime, sending you across to Pride Land with Mike.
So we've been looking for this female leopard and her youngster, and we've come across quite large leopard tracks of what I think looks like a male leopard. It could easily be Pixie Pan's male offspring, or it could be another larger male. But what's very interesting about this is that this male leopard was investigating a nice big termite mound with some really fresh signs of some sort of animal inhabiting this old aardvark burrow here. We checked carefully around. We can't see any warthog tracks, which would be the most obvious choice, but it could really be one of a number of different animals, from porcupines to honey badgers. It could be pangolin, it could be aardvark, it could be almost anything. But this leopard was investigating. There are holes all over this burrow, and this leopard has come to almost every single one of the holes to investigate what might have been inside. Now, it's also not unheard of for leopards to use burrows like this to rest up during the day, or to even give birth to their offspring. Now, this track looks like a male leopard, a large one, so he wouldn't be looking to give birth to anything, but he certainly might be interested in dragging something out of this burrow if the opportunity was there. I have seen leopards many times before literally sitting on termite mounds just waiting for the warthogs to emerge out of the burrow so they can pounce on them. But it's just really interesting. This caught my attention from a distance away when I saw all this fresh digging signs around here. And all the way around behind us, there's also tracks. All these here. Gabby, I don't think that animals can look at a track and see that it was a different animal's track. I think, Gabby, what's most likely to have happened here is this leopard was smelling something, or any animal would smell the scent left by whichever animal made the track. And so they'll say, oh, this was a warthog, or that was a duiker, that was whatever. They can differentiate that. The sense of smell is much, much better at deciphering information. Eyesight is usually just for movement and for pinpointing prey. It's really not used for following tracks, for example. Hearing is definitely a very important sense. But I really wonder what was going on here. This is fresh. This is from last night or yesterday at the very least, because it's crisp. It's crisp and it's still shiny. It hasn't degraded at all, the track. So this leopard is around here somewhere. Hopefully it hasn't moved too far. We can't see any definitive idea of what other animals might have been here, unfortunately. I can only see maybe some small antelope tracks just over here. But the search continues. We'll see what else we're able to find.
So it looks like we got a space back to the lioness. So I'm gonna go there, see what she's doing. She's probably still communicating as well. She's probably worried that she's not entirely sure what happened or what are the other pride doing right now, whether they're feeding on kill. She's got a little pressure in that as well. So I'm gonna go around. She's up. So we arrive in a spot here, but I'm gonna try reposition for everybody.
I've just caught some marabou stork fluff. It came cascading from the sky. It's a bit of down. I don't know where it's from. I don't know if it's from its neck or it's actually from the downy bits and it's underneath its feathers. But I'm sure that there are a few people who can say that they've caught marabou stork down from the sky. So I just thought I'd share that with you. I just caught it. They were on a tree and then they flew and then they sent off all their fluff. I just want to have a closer look because I just caught it and I didn't get to have a look. It doesn't look like the downy bits that you would find on the body. It looks like it might have, been around there. I'll show you why. Can you see that little stalk? Hang on, let me take out my pokey. Where are you, pokey? There you go. See that little stalk there? Sorry, I'm creating a shadow. A little stalk there. The downy feathers that you find that are closer to the body to keep it warm don't have a single long stalk like that. So it's more likely that it's from the neck area. Yeah, I would say from that fluff that's just around that neck, but well, thanks. I'm going to take my scavenger's fluff, keep it in my collection of other rare and strange things I've found out here. Strange to me, at least. Morgan, do you feel left out? There's one for you too.
Thank you.
I'm sorry yours couldn't be as dramatic as mine. Trying to follow it with the vehicle as trying to catch it. But at least Morgan got one too. Cool. 14 marabou storks. Like I said, they are gregarious. You see them together, but I've never seen that many. I hope they will make Juma their home for a little bit. Let's take this road. All right, let me send you back over to Lion and his lioness, to Andrew and his lioness, while I move towards Treehouse Dam.
Oh, 14 marabou stock. Such a beautiful. So we are still sitting with our lioness. Maybe she's about to call. I'm gonna take that moment of silent at the moment. Danny, you asking if the other bride, the old bride, will go look for one lioness. If they were near around here and they like the area where she's contacting from, they'll probably come this way. But if then they have a pressure of going somewhere, then they won't gonna come back here. Then she has to find them, or they will respond only by calling back. But if their journey is to come this direction, yes, they will come her way. And then she's highly alert. You can see how she check around her. If they ever respond once, and she'll know where are they exactly, and she will probably even tell the distances. If she's near, she has to take that journey from here to get them. which she may because she's really desperately looking for them. So we're going to stay put just to see what the action she's going to take from here. I'm going to be sending you across to Mike, who is also have an interesting thing.
We found a really cool little predator. It's a pearl-spotted owlet sitting in a marula tree, very exposed. It's trying to warm up. It's a small bird, so it's trying to warm up, but it's also trying to stay as still as possible whilst still looking around. There are a few birds in the area that will mob and chase this pearl-spotted owlet away if it gets spotted. There was a drongo a moment ago that was watching it. It's flown off though. Every now and again this bird turns its back to us, or it turns the back of its head to us, and you can just see two dark patches on the backs of its head, on the back of its head. And those are false eyes that might help to deter a predator thinking that the owl is watching it, when in fact the owl doesn't even know it's there. Such a clever little strategy, having these false eyes on the back of its head, because many predators will not attack if they think they're being watched. They'll stand very still. Now, it's not normally hunting during the day. Usually this little owlet, and that's about as big as it gets, about the size of two fists together. Critter Freak, they are the best little owlets. They're so cute, and they hunt little insects at night and in the evenings and the early mornings. But now it's too late, it's a bit too bright. So Critter Freak, this one is very tough, and it's very cute, but it can easily be chased away and attacked by other birds. And, birds have sharp claws and beaks, and so if this one draws too much attention to itself, it'll get mobbed and chased away, which it doesn't want. It will probably move once it feels a bit more settled and warm to the shade of a larger tree, maybe with some leaves, in order to stay hidden away from potential adversaries, enemies. And then in the evening it will start calling again with a beautiful, long drawn-out whistled call, which we often in fact used to entice other birds to come closer to us to investigate. I'm not going to do that now. If I would whistle the call of this owlet, it might well think that there's a rival in the area and then race off to try and chase off its rival, in which it will expose itself to other birds and then be under attack. So I wouldn't want to do that. It's just great to see. We're on the hunt for some predators and we found one. Great success. And there it goes. Just as I suspected, flying off to one of the tambourtis just down there, which has lots more shade, lots more green vegetation. Perfect place for it to hide for the day, so let's wish it luck.
The annual Safari Guide of the Year competition aims to create awareness for those men and women who dedicate their lives to tourism and wildlife. This year's event will be held at Marataba, a breathtaking privately managed section of the Marakele National Park in South Africa's Limpopo province. In celebration of this, Wild Earth and Marataba Luxury Lodges are offering all explorers a chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular spectacular land-based safari, Maritaba luxury lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth Explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers. It's in your nature. Educating our youth about the environmental threats we face is critical. Our future depends on it. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, is actively leading the charge. Their goal is to encourage children to fall in love with our natural world and to empower them to live sustainably in the future. Through their school programs, the children learn to report on environmental issues through videos, articles, and photos.
The YRE program has changed my life in so many beneficial ways. Being out there at the workshops, I was entitled to talk with others, socialize, as well as my writing skills and leadership skills have improved, so it has been great.
WESA is a membership-based organization. By joining WESA, you will be helping to provide valuable support for these youth education initiatives.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
Okay, everybody, we just shift a little bit forward to get a closer look at her. And then she hasn't stopped calling in yet. But then it has no response. Whether they're out of reach of her voices, or whether they cannot just respond yet, whether they are on a kill, busy feeding elsewhere. But the good news is that, they're back from when you latest. That happens. They're back and cross to the west. Janice, you asking if there's something wrong with the fur on the neck? Fluffy like this is actually usual for the lines under the chin, especially. It's a soft part underneath of the throat there, and they grow very long hair. So it is the usual way. And sometimes when you feed on an animal that has so much blood, it's the only first part they get soaking wet with blood. And then hardly for yourself to get it cleaned. There has to be in a group that will be able to help each other clean each other's cheek. So I'm gonna stay put. I'm hearing a lot of birds in the background. See what happened.
at these little raisins. So many dwarf mongoose on this mound. A small mound, but we can just see the top of it. Underneath there'd be a whole network of different tunnels. They've all just come pouring out. Sometimes it feels like when you see a small mound like this and they all come pouring out, it almost looks like a clown car. Like, when's it going to stop? There's so many in there. But it looks like all members of this business are out on the eastern side of this mound, trying desperately to get warm. Maybe you need one of our toe warmers. They would love that, I'm sure. Curl up into a little ball and have a nap on a nice warm platform. I would certainly enjoy that. There are testiculars going crazy. Can you hear all that sound? Well, we're in a good position to see if anything walks out there, but it sounds like it might be a predatory bird that's around. It's just a lot of bird sounds. Not calls though, they're just they're shouting at something in the background. Ah, these guys are... Did you see how all their heads moved when that spurfowl went beep? Morgan, there's 2 orange-breasted bush shrikes in this buffalo thorn. Oh man. Yay. At least I think it is. Let's pull up my binos. Yep. Yep. And another one. I love looking at these birds. They're just so pretty. I think if we actually sit around here, we might see a lot of different birds come out. I can hear a lot of them. Isn't it beautiful? I had a question, but FC's just going to help me again about how you can tell if one is old or if a mongoose, one of these dwarf mongooses is a youngster or if it's old. Ah, Heather, you are asking how do we tell the difference between if they're old or young because they're all so small. They are really, really small, all of them, 250 to 300 grams, but the youngsters look substantially smaller and they also have a bit of like a rounder head. It's difficult to tell if you don't have something to compare them to, like another adult. But they are substantially smaller. And like I said, they have a big round head and their bodies have not quite caught up with them. Now, if they're old, as in a mongoose who, within its context, is elderly, I'm not sure what that would look like. They have a longevity of about 6 years. So I'm sure, I mean, I've never seen one that's losing patches of melanin or anything like that. And really, when we say that's the longevity in the wild. So if someone has it has a dwarf mongoose that they take care of, maybe they are still wild, but they're in their area or something like that. That's the best way to know what an animal who is old looks like. Because most animals don't die of old age out here. But between the adults and the youngsters, there is a big size difference, and you can tell straight away. You can even tell once you've been spending a lot of time with them, you can tell the difference, even if you just see a baby on its own, or a sub-adult on its own, and not next to a nice big grown adult. I love how alert they are, but they also look like they're in charge. You know, you don't ever rock up here and think and not feel their presence. You always feel their presence because they have a strong one. It can sometimes make you feel a little uncomfortable the way they stare at you. Hi Betty, you'd like to know if dwarf mongoose are scared of other mongoose species because they're so small. I don't think, Betty, that there's a thing dwarf mongoose are scared of. Even when aerial predators come along, it's not. They have more of an air of irritation as opposed to fear. Oh, bit of a yawn there. But they are communal, gregarious, and they are highly social. So remember, it's not just one that another mongoose has to deal with, like a slender mongoose, which is solitary, but it would have to deal with the whole lot of them. Different mongooses' territories do overlap different species. Now, banded mongoose are larger and are also very social. But I've not seen them clash. They don't often, like in this area, there's not too many banded mongoose, but there are some on Zoe's Road. So it is possible that they could clash, but I can't say I've seen it. Perhaps they just try to avoid each other. I'm really not sure. Lots of grooming, yawning, stretching. Such a fluffy little cluster. Hi, Jakarta. You'd like to know what's the average number in a mongoose family? It can range pretty much anything from about 10 to 30. With obviously there being outliers. It can be quite large and it can also be quite small. I'm sure there must be a record for the most number or the highest number of members in a business, but on average, let's say about 13 to 30. Here there's maybe about 16, 17. But there could be others around too. But at this point, all of them out doing the same thing, sunning themselves, grooming, stretching before they're out. So it's unlikely that there's more in the termite mound. Anyway, this was lovely. I'm going to keep an eye out now for some other pretty birds that might come along.
We have managed to make our way back towards Leopard Dam, and we're standing at the place where the elephants often come and drink. As you can see, there's a big leadwood tree completely covered in mud from all the elephants that come and go from the waterhole. And a leadwood is a great tree to scratch on because it's very hard and rigid and it doesn't move around, so it's perfect for a good scratch. I'm trying to see if there's any ticks or parasites. I can't see any that stand out to me. There's an old ant that looks like it got squashed, unfortunately. Oh well. So just over there to see the body of an ant. Either got squashed or it got caught in some of the sap from this tree. In any case, it's no longer going to be very active. It's going to be an immobile ant for a while. But we found tracks all over this place. We found leopard tracks coming to the dam, going away from the dam. We saw big tracks, we've seen small tracks. It's very difficult to know which ones are the freshest tracks, though. With the days been quite still and calm the last few days, not too much wind, it means those tracks can stay fresh for a long time. So anyway, we've come back to the dam because it's getting warmer now. I'm going to wait and see if anything comes down to have a drink. The water level's dropping quite quickly, and I noticed some more tracks just down here. It's very difficult to see. There's a track just over there, another one just over there, and more tracks heading down to the water's edge. Now, I think that these tracks could be potentially tracks of wild dogs that were in this area recently, because if you look, they've got very big toes and very small back pad, just like here as well. And we know they've been in this area. They ran along the boundary, the western boundary of Pride Lands, I think yesterday or the day before. So they might have come here to have a drink, which is always fantastic to hear. Hopefully these African wild dogs are still sticking around in this area, and they might just come and join us for a drink a bit later. Who knows? We can wish, we can hope, right? But in any case, what a spectacular spot.
So we are here still, watching our lionesses. She looked at it back there, and she's still looking further down there. That's where I heard a bird earlier going a lot. Communication, all different sorts of different species of birds, but it's very thicket. So we're not sure what was happening there. These birds, they sometimes give a warning, some reason. If there's something dangerous to them, they would shout at it. Anything from cats to snakes, owls, these eagles sometimes. That's what they shout about sometimes, but we're not sure. We're just gonna keep on listening. Look, you asking that she going to do this all day long or until she find the others. She may give up if sun get hot, and then this is where now she will realize whenever it's too much, it's too late, around 11ish, 12ish, a sound may not travel far away, even if she calls. So she may give up that time and take it easy until afternoon again, if she don't find them this time. So, Mashlori, you asking if she part of the Talamati Pride? Yes, they're the one that came this way, and by yesterday they crossed into Manyeleti, but by look like the tracks leading back to Sabi-Sands again, in part of this area of Jum. I'm not sure whether other guys have spotted the tracks, but indeed, yes, she's part of the Talamati Pride. So we're going to stay put. In the meantime, I'll be sending you across to Trishal, who she's on a move.
Well, it's great to know that she's gotten up and is focused on something. Perhaps Andrew will be lucky with other members of the Pride, maybe joining her. There have been tracks, like I've said, all over the place. I even saw a set of tracks on Savage's track just now. They didn't look great. They're probably from last night. But it seems that they were all over different roads. And single lionesses can then come together, obviously coalesced around Aubrey's. Well, it's warmed up about 2 degrees. Still very cold in the shade. Again, great for the movement of predators, not so great for the movement of Trishala. Thought I saw... I don't know what I saw. I also saw a tail, but I thought it was a warthog. It's a leopard. Hello, leopard. Who are you? Hello, gully girl. Well, would you look at that? Now let's just try to figure out who it is. Come on, turn around. All right, let's get in front of her. She looks quite large. My first gut was Tlalamba. Oh yes, stretch it out. Critter Freak, you say what a great surprise for us too. It's so amazing when I first looked, I thought, oh, is that a warthog? But something in your brain tells you to just go and check properly. Isn't that beautiful? What are you looking at, this Tlalamba? What are you looking at, Gully Girl? I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I love her so much. Oh, what I was saying is it's so amazing that your brain, like, you see something, you think it might be this or it might be that, but when there's something in your brain that knows that you've seen a leopard and goes, I'm gonna go check again. I can't see her, folks, so she's right behind the vehicle. She's still right behind us, moving. What are you doing? Well, I can't move because obviously she's interested in something. Gotta love this place, huh? When it can produce the beautiful just out of nowhere. Okay, she's walking out the other side now. Hello, my gorgeous girl. You are stunning. Oh, how I love her. Piper girl, my thoughts exactly. You say, Princess, what a big belly. A big belly indeed. We're going to call it a food belly for now. See how these things go, but that is a huge belly. And that was very cute. She likes to hunt smaller things. I think let's get out on the road. Just gives her more space for hunting, without us following behind her, but rather following alongside her. Let me just call this in quickly. Let everybody know that we found her and they can come through too. Well, first I should probably relocate her.
We have another wonderful guest with us, Sergio Real. Sergio is a holder of the Ticket to Dream.
I bought a Ticket to Dream because I love Wild Earth. All of the guides have been awesome. We've been watching for years, and it's a favorite part of my day to get to watch the drives. I look forward to seeing lots of leopards.
If you want to go on safari with a Wild Earth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
My favorite part of the drive today was definitely an elephant that paid us a visit and came right to our car.
Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's amazing being on a live drive in Djuma. It's just fantastic. The scenery is beautiful and the animals are even better.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiana, I'm from Johannesburg, and I am one of Wild Earth's biggest fans.
Been watching for 4 years, DG here from the Ozarks.
It's been 4 years for me, and I'm not leaving anytime soon.
It's given me a time away from the hassles of the city, and it's given me a connection to a place that has stolen my heart, which is Africa.
Last year we lost our son, and now we're just watching Wild Earth. Love to all you guys.
You are reminding us of the role that we play in nature conservation, each and every one of us. You have reconnected myself to a dream that I had as a child to get involved in nature conservation, and for that I'm really grateful for as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's a huge privilege to be in these incredible places with these amazing animals. I love filming lions. When they do get up and do something, it's always spectacular. When they are playing, are incredibly fun to watch, especially sabots and cubs. I love being in the bush and working in these incredible places with these amazing animals. We want to bring it to you so that you can almost feel like you're right there and be able to experience it and enjoy it the way we are.
I love her. Scent mark for us. She is looking a little awkward when she moves because of the size of her belly. You know, we're all, you guys are all speculating already. I can tell with my spidey sense. But just now she did a little hop and a skip on the road. She did this little jumpy thing, which was very cute and unexpected, but she looked awkward somehow because she had this big belly. So but like I said, we're gonna be very conservative and call it a food belly for now. She's moved one road in, one road further west. Oh, turning towards Trias Dam now. You go, girl. Right. She's giving us an opportunity to move in front of her. Why? Thank you so much, you beautiful thing. Excuse me. Oh, it's the side shot. Love this one. And we get to follow her like this. And let's pop out here. Oh. Morgan's just got a branch in his face. Morgan Thalamba is not impressed with your shout. She said you should have kept quiet. Thank you very much. Hello, gorgeous. As long as you got the shot, Morgan. Did you get the shot? Well, he's a true cam-up, everyone. Tree or no tree. Morgan's got the shot. Morgan, it's a combretum. It's not even, there's not even any thorns in it. I'm just giving him trouble, everyone. Most of the time I don't bash Morgan into trees. This is very nice. This is the road she normally uses as Treehouse Dam, or the Savages track that goes towards Treehouse Dam, as opposed to Shibama. Shibama used to be Shidulu's route. Might actually be able to switch off and just roll a little bit. Or we might not be able to. Let's just watch her without the car rolling. Also, while we are looking at Lalamba, we haven't seen her in a little bit. Thandi was seen on Ledwood Road yesterday, so a lot of you have been asking about Thandi. We haven't been seeing Thandi. Well, she was seen on Ledwood Road yesterday, so that's great. Everyone is accounted for except Tingana, so we've got to find him soon. Hi, Jerome. You'd like to know if she's hunting or patrolling? She is doing a bit of both. She is obviously feeling a little snacky, but she's also scent marking as she goes around, as she goes through. But she's not really patrolling because she's not using her boundary lines strictly. She's kind of moving around, scent marking every now and then. And that's it. And she also doesn't seem to be interested in any big, I mean, there isn't any big prey here, but she seems to be interested in small things. Just giving her a bit of space, so she's going to come out in front of us there. Let's see her.
Thanks for a quick break at Central Rock.
Tell me when you have a view, Morgan. A little bit more forward. She's watching something that I can't see at this moment, but we've given her quite a lot of space. Stations, she's now moved into the block between Taxon's Road and Savage's Track, heading towards Taxon's Road. Hi. She's kind of popped her head out here and looked at me. She's watching a Franklin. Hi, Lily Pan. You'd like to know how long are leopards typically pregnant for? About 3 months. And I'll typically give birth to 1 or 2 cubs. She's interested in some Franklin that I'm moving around here. I can just see her. She's going to come out in front there. I just don't want to move yet. turned around. She's heading back towards the dam. She was just heading north and now she's heading east again. I can't follow her through there, so we're gonna go around onto the road. Hi, Hillary. You say that she's looking very healthy and glamorous. Well, I will let her know. She's looking spectacular. I've never seen her in bad condition, though. And that's something we must keep quite close to our hearts, the fact that we've always seen her in good condition. That's very special. She's very particularly special leopard to me. Just check her through the gap there. She's seen a squirrel. Can you hear the birds? The sticklers are all shouting, but actually not very close to her. Oh, there goes the squirrel. Oh. Lost your chance, girl. It's interesting that she always invests time in hunting small animals. Birds, squirrels, mongoose. She's looking right at us. She is so special. She is, to me, something very, very special. Hi, Benson. You'd like to know if she'll hunt right up to when she needs to give birth. Leopards will hunt right up until the point that they need to give birth. Remember, if they didn't do that, then it would compromise their survival. She might not hunt, or a leopard rather, because remember, we don't know that she's pregnant. And we're just speculating because she does have a round belly. But she may not hunt, on the same day that she's going to give birth, if she's already starting to feel movement, because it's not as if she knows she's going to give birth today, so she's not going to hunt. She'll just feel uncomfortable, or so uncomfortable that she might not feel ready to engage in a hunt, in which case she won't. But like I said, we don't know that she's pregnant. She just looks very large, and we haven't seen her in a little while, so it could be, but we'll just have to have regular sightings with her for us to know. Hi, TaylorMade. You'd like to know how long does the whole birthing process take? And much like humans, it depends. If there's a problem, it can be quite long, and if not, it can be quite quick. It all depends. A lot of the time, we don't really know because we see them go into a mound, and then we see them come out of the mound, obviously a little bit more empty, but we don't know for how long they've been in there, how long the birthing process has been, or how long they've just been in there cleaning up the cub and nursing the cub, etc. So how long the actual birthing process is, I can't tell you. She seems to have calmed down a little bit now, so we're going to get into better position. She doesn't look like she's too interested in the squirrels and things like that. So let's do that. Let's turn around and get into a nice position for us to spend what we hope will be the rest of the drive with her.
Just to the south of Leopard Dam, we've come back to this big leadwood stump that was removed from a road. The elephants pushed it over, and we found there's still activity around it, which is interesting. It's still exuding a little bit of sap, and ants are still very interested in consuming it. As you can see, they are gorging themselves on some of this sap here. I actually thought they might have been tending some aphids, but I don't see any aphids there. They're literally just slowly eating some of the sap. Now, it doesn't taste very sugary to us, but it's undoubtedly full of nutrients and sugars that these ants will use to sustain themselves. Very interesting to see. I mean, actually, I'm surprised to see that they're still here after so many months. This was the tree that we filmed a while back that had a ton of butterfly and other activities. So as you can see, it's starting to regrow itself. There are little shoots popping up all over the top side of this fallen log. And I just find it fascinating. How on earth did the tree, or did this branch start growing here? Why didn't it grow there or there or there or anywhere else along this stump? I have no idea. It's never going to be as tall as it once was. As you can see, it was quite a hefty stump of or tree of a leadwood. It's never quite going to grow tall again. It'll just grow bushy and shrubby just over here. There's a few roots still left in there, but as you can see, the cambium layer on this tree is very thin. Just over here you can see it's only a very thin layer, so there's not a whole lot of nutrient transporting happening. So it will grow slowly, but I just really wonder how did it know to grow right over here? And are they going to survive? Is it going to live? Is it going to flourish? Is it going to have more activity? Who knows? Just the fact that an elephant was able to push it over, I find very, very fascinating. Why did it push it over? The lead was not even very palatable. I think they'd rather do it to a marula to get to the fruits, or to a knobthorn because of the very tasty bark. But one will never presume to understand the mind of an elephant.
So she's now checking out, I think, heard the Franklin that are alarm calling in a drainage line system. At the moment, she will rely on anything. Birds. But first, she's got to check out first by looking up in the air Well, vulture could sometimes tell her the direction of the other member if they have a kill. Is when these vultures fly up in the air and do circle around. She'll follow them, then walk into that direction. Pedersen, so you're asking it would not help if she was mobile to find the other member. It would help, I think, because then she will carry on as she contact calling until they reach her audio, if they far out of reach from here. That it would help, but then I think she just decided to lie down. And it has been no response in this area since she's been calling. So these birds have been calling for even a squirrel still going on. Whether they've seen her, the squirrels can see miles away because she's right in the open. Yeah, that's a squirrel. That squirrel seems to be maybe spotting her from that distance. So we would stay here just to see what she will react. After the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be sending her across to a tree shawl.
Well, she's now on the move. She's going up and down, zigzagging in this block. She is gonna come out on the road. And I think she might cross straight across onto the other side instead of using the road. Yep. There she goes. So our other option is to go down to the dam and see if she manages to cross round and come to drink here, or we can follow her. But I think that it's going to be a better idea if we just go round in here, because she's, well, I hope that she'll be moving in the block towards the dam. That made my morning. There she is. Let's get a quick look here. through the trees. Wiggling that tail every now and then. I hope that she'll be able to get herself a meal. And clearly she's hungry. And she's very interested in even the smallest of prey. Half raising her tail. She's going to keep on moving. Well, she is moving in the direction of the dam. I just want to see her go past here. And then we'll move to the dam to have a look. Yep, gotta love a tree. Just a slight wiggle there. Alright, let's move and put ourselves in a nice position to watch her come have a drink. Hi, Nikki. You'd like to have ever seen a leopard catch a fish? Yes, I have. I'm just going to tuck in here because she seems to be going to this side of the dam. I have seen a leopard catch a fish. I've seen Mareeps catch a fish. Sorry, not Mareeps. Semba catch a fish. That was a good one because we watched him for quite some time, and he was churning the water and churning the water until he was able to actually catch the fish. And Tingana's caught fish before. I didn't see that one though, but it was on the show. I just want to see whether she wants to drink there at that little puddle or she wants to walk down to the main dam area. David, that's a beautiful comment. You say that leopard tails are so expressive. They are, aren't they? They are so expressive. Looks like half her body is in a mud bath. Looks like she's sinking, but it's just the position. Mm-hmm. Come on, where do you want to drink? I think she's going to drink there, so I think we should position ourselves before the other vehicle comes through. Oh, okay, she's drinking at a small bit of mud. Morgan, beware, branch. It's a toughie, but we'll try. It's because of the way that the ground is. It's going to be difficult to see her because it looks as if she's got her head, like she's got her head in a hole there. So actually, Tristan's come and join us here. She's looking at him. Do you know me? I know you, she says. And she's really, it almost looks like she's going to pick her head up and it's going to be, face is going to be covered in mud. Oh, hello there, pretty. Ooh, maybe that water was a bit too muddy. You should have drank at the dam. So leopards are not nearly as fussy about their water quality as elephants. I wonder what gave her that little jump. A little startled by something. She was so right about the tails being so expressive. It's such a part of their body that has been used. It's used in a way that we really can't understand. We have nothing like that can be used as a point of expression for us. Oh, that tail looks so cute. She really is a beautiful, beautiful leopard. She might be my number one. You know, I don't like to choose, but I really do love her, and I think she's my number one. She's got so much energy and personality, and so playful, and sometimes so cub-like, but also so strong, and such a successful huntress. All those qualities that I really, really love, and she embodies them all. I hereby this morning claim that Lalamba is my favorite leopard. You have heard it. I hardly ever say it. But I've chosen a favorite, everyone. Oh, off she goes. We can try and catch up with her on the road on the other side, or maybe just see if she's going to come down and have a drink. But, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I don't want to crash too much through the bush. But I think I might come out on the road onto the dam wall where we can actually be a bit taller and be able to see better.
The Mara Triangle is a jewel in the Kenyan conservation crown, and thanks to the dedication of the Mara Conservancy, it thrives as one of Earth's greatest national treasures.
We have been experiencing a reduction in the whale snails that we collect on a monthly basis, and this is basically attributed to our intense patrols.
Over the years, this courageous team of anti-poachers has reduced poaching to almost zero.
Mimi naitwa Stephen Olereso. Nimefanya kazi miaka 16 sasa. Kuanzia mwaka 2002. Hao wanadamu ni wenye utua sana inaogofya ni wale wenye wanaenda kama ndovu. Wanatumia kama bunduki. Sasa hiyo ndio huwa inakuanga hatari sana kwa sisi.
As a result of the global pandemic and the massive reduction in tourist revenue, the Mara Triangle is facing a financial crisis. They need your help if they are to continue their ability to protect this magical land.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at Wild Earth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on Wild Earth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed.
Guys, have a look at what we've got. This is better than my birthday. Look at that. This is the first time that I ever see cubs this small. This is so special. This has officially just become my best sighting of all times.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
So she's now again looking up. It's uphill where she's looking, so it's but it's very thick bush. Now she's checking whether the hornbill seen something, which is right behind us, but I doubt. So, Jelly, you're asking how old this line is, and then also she's injured or not. So she's full grown. Full grown, we're talking about age of 6 years upwards. But she's not actually limping at all. But I saw a bit of a cut on her right hand side, but she's now, I think, lying in the wrong position. We can't see it. But it's not bad that she still moves. It's just a bit of cut on the skin. So she's not actually badly injured that she cannot walk. No, she can walk still. By separated, she actually knew that she's missing out. There's so much going on in the pride. They form this key of a friend, family bond where they take care of one another. But now since she's away, then she all miss of these, all that care she received from the other members while she's in the group. And that's why she's desperately looking for them. First, love, are you asking if she's in a kind of a danger since she's alone? In this area, not a lot of different pride that come in and out a lot. So she's fine. And the kind of danger that you may close encounter would be if she cannot move. And then, of course, that could cause a lot of problem because even elephants can trample at her, and herd of buffalo, they can run over her as well. But she's actually normal, so she's not in kind of danger. She's got such a beautiful face as well. But these buffalo flies already started on her. Nazarene, you're asking how long these lions sleeping for, specifically this one. Usually lions sleep anything between 16, 18 hours. And they can sleep for that long, the whole day. Until maybe late darknesses. Until they get to move. When they, depending on how strength they have. But when they're pushing on hunting, immediately the sun go down, they started to get mobile. And the wind is picking up a little bit, so that she will probably try to pick up this scent of the smell if they ever a few miles away from her. We're gonna stay put.
Got the fright of my life a moment ago as we were just walking through this dry grass. Something burst out of this little thicket here. And if I just open it up, you can see in there is a little hollow area where an animal was sleeping in there. Now, what this animal was, I will leave for you to decide. What animal might have given me a huge fright as it burst out of this little bush here? It was lying in wait in this little thicket, probably for the day, to become active again in the evening. Listen, it's a lion calling. It's a bit further north of us right now. That's interesting. So this wasn't a lion that was waiting in here. It was a lion calling just behind us, or that way. It sounded like it was a bit far, though. But what gave me a fright could well have been a predator. That's what I was thinking it was when it first burst out of the bushes. I was like, oh my word, what is that? And it wasn't. Something living in here. So I wonder what it was. So this little creature eats grasses, seeds, maybe a little bit of root material at times, I suppose. It lives above ground, doesn't go underground. Mostly nocturnal, as I mentioned. What could it have been? It made a lot of noise as it rushed out of this little bush here. Because the grass is so dry, the shrub is so dry, that it made it sound a lot larger than it is. There's no evidence in there that I can show you extra. There's no droppings or fur or anything like that. But the size should give you an indication. Just in there. I'll leave it with you.
We have left Kalamba in the block there. It just seemed like she was very busy wanting to hunt and then being successful with the smaller tries. And we just thought she would probably appreciate a bit of space while she sorts out her snack issue. The issue being she can't have a snack. There were also some impala in the distance. She didn't look too interested in them. Perhaps she was feeling they were too large a snack for her at this moment. But either way, we let her be in the block instead of crashing through and following her. So, yeah, but we had a wonderful, wonderful time with her. So I'm very happy nonetheless. I did bestow upon her the title of my favorite leopard. So all round, a Kalamba time. Alright, let me send you over to Andrew quickly while I just get through this tough patch.
So we are still sitting here, and then since last everyone you were with us, he hasn't yet called, so she will probably do it again, I think. So it's still nice and cool morning. For her to give a call, it's so important. And then her sound still travels further away enough without any disturbance by many of calls from the birds and things.
Yeah, standing by.
Grace, you're asking what happened if she doesn't find her own bride. That often happened, but she's going to carry on and on looking for them. If it has to take 3 days for that, she would do it. She would eventually find a bride. But then if she don't find them, it means that they'll probably, if something happened to the bride, then and probably not exist, then she's going to be on her own, trying to survive, which is by relying on her own hunt, scavenging from other cat. But you'll find their bride, definitely. She's now facing the wind, which is very good. If they ever are in the northern side, that's where she's now. No, she's looking south, but she's facing north all the time. And the wind blowing from there. So, she's up. So the cat I was talking about, she has moved on the her foreleg right on the elbow. But it's not fresh cut though, it's probably healing already. Just gonna switch the vehicle. Wonderful, so I'm going to drive around. So I'm gonna try reposition. In the meantime, I'll be sending you to Mike in Brightland.
So what we're looking at in here is the home of a creature that just scared us, which is in fact a form, a scrub hare form. Now, the scrub hare, which is incredibly well camouflaged, was lying in here, hiding away from danger, when, as we walked past very close, it decided, no, we're too close, and it thought maybe we were after it. So it came rushing out here through a little exit that's on this side and ran up in that direction and is probably hiding again not so far away. I'm sure it will come back to this spot or maybe stay where it is. I don't know. But in any case, it was super scary for a moment until we realized what it was. I actually even raised my stick. I was like, what is it? But it escaped my wrath, luckily. There was no wrath. I was going to run screaming like like something. Now, I'm going to close it up again so that if it decides to come back and use this spot, it can, more or less the way we found it. So the main difference between scrub hares and rabbits that you might find in other parts of the world, we don't have too many rabbits here in the Lowveld, is that scrub hares live above ground. A rabbit would have spent its time during the day in a burrow, underground, hiding away from the danger, whereas a scrub hare lives above ground. And they're a bit bigger scrub hares, generally speaking, more slender, much longer bodies, better for running at super high speeds, and then also usually bigger ears for listening. One of the other main differences, because rabbits live underground in a burrow and hares live above ground in a form, hares' babies, when they're born, the leverets is what they call them, are ready to move around. They're fluffy, their eyes are open, they're able to move around and escape from danger and hop about straight from birth. Whereas a rabbit, which is born underground, is usually pink and hairless and blind and naked and can't really do much at all. That's why it lives underground, and the mother and the parents can look after it until it's grown enough that it can start moving around, which might take a couple of weeks before it's ready to do that. So that's the main differences. So we call that precocial. When an animal is born ready to move and run around, that's a precocial youngster. Whereas an animal that is born without being able to look after itself, that's altricial. It's really one of the things we teach our students to at least understand the difference between those two things. We're heading back towards Leopard Dam now, which is not so far, just in that direction. And when we get there, we'll have one last look what's around before we call it a day. It's been a wonderful morning. It's almost time to head back.
The annual Safari Guide of the Year competition aims to create awareness for those men and women who dedicate their lives to tourism and wildlife. This year's event will be held at Marataba, a breathtaking privately managed section of the Marakele National Park in South Africa's Limpopo province. In celebration of this, Wild Earth and Marataba Luxury Lodges are offering all explorers a chance to win a 3-night stay at Marataba Safari Lodge for you and a friend. In addition to a spectacular land-based safari, Marataba Luxury Lodges offer an opportunity for guests to cruise peacefully along the Matlabas River, watching the animals as they drink and wallow. The lodge offers you a chance to lie by the pool or enjoy a spa treatment, and one night could be spent sleeping out under the stars in a luxurious treehouse. Sign up to be a Wild Earth explorer before the 30th of June, and it could be you heading off on a long-awaited getaway. Wild Earth Explorers. It's in your nature. The Endangered Wildlife Trust fights at the forefront of conservation, across the vast Karoo and sweeping grasslands, in remote pockets of forest, along road networks, across African skies, and in communities to conserve our wildlife and wild spaces. Help us to protect forever, together. Donate now at ewt.org.za.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at and beyond Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through and beyond Ngala on Wild Earth. Send me live questions through the Wild Earth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
Look at this, the little one is up and about. Certainly hasn't had enough milk at this age. No amount of milk is enough. Oh, Corky. Too sweet. Oh, look at this. That is stunning.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
Sorry about that. Technical issues are quite frequent when we're out in the African bush, I suppose. So as you can see, we're just walking now along the road to get towards Leopard Dam because, we just want to go and sit there and see what might come down in these last minutes before we start to make our way out of here. We've heard elephants in the area. In that direction over there, we heard elephants breaking some branches, doing some normal elephanty things, but I don't know what exactly they're doing, if they're going to come down and drink. Normally they would come down and drink around about this time of day, as it's getting warm. My fingers are crossed anyway. And along the road, it's just nice and easy for us to walk quickly back to places. Animals do the same thing. You know, we're walking along this road because it's easy. Animals do the same thing. Tailor-made, we have to be aware of all sorts of things. For example, if you look just through past those quarries, there are a couple of impalas standing watching us. So you have to be aware of different movements, different colors in the bush. You have to be aware of the sounds. Tailor-made, sometimes even the smells can indicate to us that there's something around. There goes the impalas now. They've lost their nerve. Some of them running off. And Craig, if you come here, you actually have a very good view of them just through the bushes there as they're moving off. So tailor-made, there's lots of things we need to be aware of. We need to watch out for tracks. If we do find an animal, we need to watch out for the wind direction. See all those impalas starting to run off now. So we are not dangerous to them, but they think that we are dangerous to them because, of course, historically, I think many animals have this kind of ancestral DNA memory. Some sort of memory about human beings being hunter-gatherers, hunting for these things. So even though we don't do that here, they still run from us because they know that we could if we wanted to. Lots of birds starting to fly around above the waterhole as well as it warms up. These birds might have been sitting, maybe catching some sun early on, and now they're starting to fly around. I wonder what birds those are. Those almost look like alpine swifts, but they can't possibly be. It's a migrant. Oh, we've got some more tech issues, so we're going to have to go into a tech loop. Sorry about that, everyone. So we're back at the waterhole, as you can see, and there are a ton of birds flying above us. These are indeed alpine swifts, the largest of the swifts that occur around here. Some are migrants, some are resident all year round, and they are staying close to the waterhole at the moment because they're probably having a drink, but also catching lots of the insects that are attracted, which is awesome to see. I really didn't know that there were some of them that are resident all year round. I thought they were only migrants. So We are going to be heading back soon. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this morning. Sounds like lots of awesome stuff with leopards and lions and, of course, our tracking around the waterhole. Hope you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to join us again this afternoon, where we'll be going out live from different locations across South Africa for more awesome safaris. Hopefully we'll get lucky again. Maybe we'll find Pixie Pan female. But please do join us this afternoon from 2:30. We'll be out and about doing our thing. See you there.